Hey, all I know is that if I want a feeling, I'm going to turn on Speedball Mike Bailey versus Cal Fletcher because that made me feel some things at 9 o'clock, 9:30 p.m. evening. If I was in the UK, it would have been 2:30 a.m. and I would have had adrenaline in my veins from that matchup because it just got better and better. Like 5 minutes in, you're like, okay, this is good. Then like 10 minutes in, they get the 10-minute mark. We're coming back from the commercial break. And I watched the fight feed for this as well. So I got to see the entire matchup. I got to see Speedball reversing the Snake Eyes attempt into a Poison Rana. I got to see all the aftermath after he hit the Tornillo. But man, that slam on the barricade is one I like. That's the second time in the C2 matches where I'm like, this is just way too dangerous that I don't want you to ever do that again. Kevin the Jet Knight with the explosiveness of his coast to coast dropkick, and Kyle Fletcher with the slam on the barricade and Speedball. Oh, that sucked for him. This is the most I've ever seen Speedball sell because he was really fucked. He was really fucked. Oh my god, that big ass mark on his back. Oh, that was the best selling he's ever done, though. So it was great. It added a lot to the matchup because everything he was doing, whether he was on the comeback, whether he was taking pain from Fletcher, he was selling that back. And the crowd, because of his sympathy after that spot, it was like they got behind him even more and more. But at the back of their head, they still were like, he's not beating Kyle Fletcher. And I agree with the comment that was in the chat earlier. Someone said they should have put up the video that they put up on social media of Speedball earlier in the day meeting up with Glacier and the Cat. And I was like, oh my God, this is like Cobra Kai. This is like Miguel meeting up with John Kreese and Johnny Lawrence right before he's got the big All Valley. Like, this is basically the same thing. It's Speedball Mike Bailey getting ready for the All Valley. That was the first time where I was like, I think Speedy might win tonight. So that got me more into the matchup because as long as it was going and as good as it was getting, I was getting more invested in the matchup and more invested in the underdog getting the win, getting the upset win, Speedball beating Kyle Fletcher. And Kyle Fletcher just makes himself feel like this unstoppable machine. Like he has every move in his arsenal. He can have a reversal, but he just hits you with so much impact. He hits you way harder than anybody else would. But the best compliment I can give to this is that they had me convinced literally 3 times the match was over. I thought it was over on the Time Adventure. I thought it was over on the Ultimo Weapon. I was like, he's literally not hit that in a singles match yet. That's the first time he's hit it in a singles match. That would be great as the finish, and it wasn't the finish. He barely gets his shoulder up, and I love that sell. Kyle Fletcher's really good at the sell of the kick out, of the exhaustion of I'm barely gonna. He was trying to just grab the rope, but he literally couldn't even make it. So he had to get his shoulders slightly up, and it was perfect. And then Speedy, I thought it was over when he gets hit with the Alufa kick and then the brain buster. I'm like, that's the Kyle Fletcher special. It's over. And 1, 2, and he got the shoulder up. I was like, what are we doing here? This is good. They are cooking on a whole other level. I was like, I literally went to Chrissy Love and Josh that I host the True Hill Heat flagship podcast with, and we do the matches of the week. So it's from Saturday night to Saturday morning. What was the best matches of the week? And I sometimes will have 10, 15, but it all matters who's on top. And Moxley and Takeshita had this on lock since Saturday. I've seen a whole bunch of great matches this week, but nothing was better than Takeshita and Moxley until Speedball and Fletcher. Takeshita and Moxley had match of the tournament for 4 days. That's all they could get. 4 days, and Fletcher and Speedball, that's the best match of the tournament. That might be up there with Will Ospreay and Darby Allin for the best Continental Classic match, or Ospreay and Okada from last year's final, as well as like the 3 best Continental Classic matches we've ever seen. Speedball and Fletcher, that felt on that level. This was another confirmation that Fletcher is the guy. He's the future of AEW. He's the guy you strap the rocket
as
to.
reported by me.
And Speedball Mike Bailey is probably the most reliable, dependable, consistently great mid-card to upper mid-card guy you can have on a roster. And he's been, in my opinion, him and the combination of getting him and Kevin Knight and then putting them together as a tag team, Jet Speed is the best signing of 2025 for AEW.
I love that they've found the role with Speedball of everyone knows he can just be a great TV wrestler. So just go out there and just let him have great TV matches. And then on top of that, because of the tag team with Kevin Knight, now you have great TV matches as a tag team or as a singles. Like there's a character to Speedball. But also it's just great wrestler going out there having great matches. And sometimes, especially in a company that does have the emphasis on the wrestling, that works for him. So I like that they have utilized him in that manner because Gray's mentioning TNA fumbled Speedball so badly. To an extent,
I wouldn't say they fumbled.
I wouldn't say fumble. Fumble's a term that
they could have done more with him for sure. The fact that he was a 3-time X Division champion and everybody and their mama was saying it's him and Josh are the best two people in this company. They could have he got one opportunity at the TNA World Title against Josh on an episode where they did like an hour-long matchup, which is one of the best Impact matches of all time. They could have done more with getting him a title opportunity on pay-per-view or having him mix up more with the top stars in the company. They could have done that with him.
Yeah, he should have been elevated after all the X Division stuff. And the fact that he wasn't. And fumble's the term too many people like to just throw around, and I think it almost loses its value as much as it's been thrown around. I mean, if you think he should have been a top guy in the company, then sure, I understand the argument for fumble. Top guy, don't know. Do I think he should have at least gotten the opportunity to try in that role? Yes, 100%. But they do that with so many people, is they don't give them that opportunity to be the top guy.
Right now with Mustafa Ali.
Or they wait too long to do it. It's either they don't do it at all or they wait too long to do it. That's the story of TNA since its existence.
Pretty much.
Wait too long Monty or don't do it at all.
Monty Brown. That was the first example.
That's the story of TNA. Wait too long, don't do it all.
There's plenty more over on Fightful Overbooked. Click that subscribe button, tap that bell, get your notifications. And while you're at it, like the videos. Interact with them. Say some stuff. We want to hear from you. While you're at it, join us every Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, live for In the Weeds. You might like it.